We're off the sword. We're off Stoneblade. So this is Legacy Update number 3. Just had a team constructed event yesterday. Went okay, but I've been playing Esper a lot, and I'm still a huge fan of the deck. And once I switched from the traditional Stoneblade list to an Esper like Mentor list with Stoneblade in it, it became very clear that Mentor was where I wanted to be, and the whole package with 4 probes and 4 cabal therapies is like the jam. It's so good. It makes your combo matchup pretty good, and also Mentor can close out games way fast. So if we're going against like another blade deck, like a mirror, usually those are kind of like who can get out Batterskull first, who can get out GTA first, and you're just kind of racing each other. And it feels kind of weird when in those mirror situations, when I have Mentor, I can just go wider than them and just cast a bunch of spell and usually just close out the game because they're having singular threats. Because they have small threat density. This deck still has a small threat density because we're only running 11 creatures, but Mentor lets us go really, really wide. And also, I've been able to beat Burn. Like, Burn was a hard matchup for me before, even though Stoneblade is technically favored, because we do have a lot of, like, main board life gain and stuff like that, and we do have some pretty fast threats. Um, it was still a hard matchup. Now, with Mentor, it's no longer a hard matchup because I can just go way faster. I can do more damage than they can faster. So, we just completely eliminated the Stoneblade package, but the threat density was a little weird. I've seen people use Snapcaster Mage and stuff like that, which I tried. But what I ended up doing is just doing 3 True Name Nemesis. So basically, I have 7 3 drops, which I really want because this is pretty much going to guarantee in my opening hand or within like the first few turns, I'm going to be able to get one of my 3 drop threats. And whether I'm on the Mentor plan or I'm on the True Name plan, I can kind of just like get that clock going immediately because I don't want to journal around for too long. And that's pretty much the biggest change, okay? So, since I'm on the plan of that, I had to change a couple spells. One of which is I'm running days now. Just 3. May go to 4, but I think 3 is probably right. But time will tell. Now, the reason I want that is because I want to slam one of these threats on turn 3, but I need to be able to protect it and I need to be able to resolve it. So this is going to help me actually lock down my Mentor, and then also if I like play it on my turn, I pass back to my opponent, they untap, say that I played when this tapped out, and they're going to hit me with, I don't know, removal or a sweeper or something, toxic deluge or something like that. I can slam a daze out there, which could potentially save the Monastery Mentor, but worst case, it's just going to trigger me making a token, so I'm still going to be left with a threat. So it's like they kind of only got me so much, so that's why Daze is in the board. And then also it's just good tempo, like early game against other decks. Gives me better, I can kind of play better against Delver, in theory. I haven't actually played this build against Delver yet, so I'm really interested to see how that goes. But I think it's going to be alright. And then also, I swapped out the Spell Pierce for Flusterstorm. Yeah, I can't counter artifacts or enchantments or planeswalkers, but that's okay. And the reason being is obviously I have main board hate now against Storm, but Flusterstorm I was just sideboarding in almost every time. So much so, I just decided to put this in here. And then also, since we are on the Mentor plan, our Storm count can get pretty high because we're trying to trigger Prowess every turn, and we're also trying to make as many tokens every turn. So once we resolve this and we untap, we're just going to be blowing stuff out like Ponders and Brainstorms and stuff like that that you might potentially hold for another time just because we're trying to trigger Prowess. Now, that being said, Flusterstorm becomes ever so, like, just so much more valuable because I basically have a 1 mana, like, hard lock counter spell, which might be cool because in theory, if I'm on like 3 lands that I use to cast Mentor, or say like I'm on 2 and I use Deathrite to pull out Mentor, I might want to use one of my lands to trigger, use it for Ponder or Brainstorm or Probe or Cabal Therapy or something. I might only have 1 extra available mana to use. And in that situation, Flusterstorm becomes better than Spell Pierce. So that's the thought process behind that. I could be totally wrong, but I don't know. I just kept boarding it in every single game, and I'm like, I don't know why I'm just not playing this card main board. So I made the choice to do so, and that's pretty much it. I'm not going to go over the sideboard. Sideboard hasn't changed too much from previously. I've been experimenting with a lot of different cards, and I think I'm just going to make a video that's just dedicated to Esper sideboarding for Legacy, because there's so many good cards, and it's like, there's too many options, honestly. There's just too many, and we'll just go through a bunch of them that I have and just kind of talk about what's good for what, and based on your build, what you need. And that's pretty much it. So we're going to have, obviously I'll be playing Legacy. I'm going to be trying to go twice a week for the next couple weeks. The last weekend of this month, I have another team constructed event, and then we go to GP Santa Clara, and then we have, a team constructed Grand Prix while we'll be playing. So it'll be back-to-back team constructed weekends with this deck, and then also the other Legacy events. So if I doubt there'll be any changes between now and then, but if so, I'll do another video, and then if not, after the fact, I'll do an update on how it performed. Awesome. Take care.